see it as this. If you have the creativity and the potential to do something that we did at our age, then I think the future is so bright you gotta wear shades. I mean, come on, think about it. It's gonna come back around. There's no doubt. It's just about pursuing things and keeping
it. It did come back around in the form of these shoes that we invented.
True.
It came back around very fast. It came back around the next year.
Hallelujah! My God!
Part of what I think is so interesting about freestyle walking, quite frankly, is it is really hard to sell products into a sport that doesn't require any products. You know, hard to monetize freestyle walking.
Nicole called me up and said, hey, there's a shoe company that is really interested in doing a freestyle walking shoe. So, like, maybe a week later, I got a call.
Brandon Kennedy, he was the one with the ambition, the drive to make it all happen. And when it didn't really happen, but, I mean, he was the first guy ever to make a grind plate on a shoe.
We were already talking to the Soaps people. You guys are going to be the poster boys of freestyle walking. We're going to have you in magazines. We're going to have you on television commercials. It's going to be, you guys are going to be huge stars. And I'm thinking, Air fucking Bryndon's. Well, do you have any ideas for shoes? I was like, we could come up with something.
What are soaps? Soaps are these. It's a shoe that has some area in it. Well, we'll get into the patent right now. Any convex or concave area in which you can put a plastic grind plate. So soaps are grind shoes.
We just came up with the idea, like, what if there was like a plastic arch right there, and then you could just slide down?
I remember it differently. I remember it being my idea. I'm not joking.
We took a hacksaw and a piece of PVC pipe, and we just cut like the little piece of PVC and then cut it down in half, and then like duct taped it up into the shoe.
I'm the one who said we should buy PVC pipe and cut it in half and put it in the bottom of the shoe.
We're sitting around the conference table in my office, and he said, what's next? Grinding on shoes? Like, holy shit. Hell yes. So we just started making Frankenstein shoes, and our really rough prototypes work.
I remember thinking at the time, like now I got my thing. This is I'm taking it to the next level, and that's why I'm valuable. Like, that's why I'm involved in something like this.
They may have invented a shoe designed specifically for freestyle walking. Well, I would say that's probably just another example of them winking at all of us and saying, hey, if you're willing to buy these, we're willing to make them and sell them.
Suddenly, the Wall Street Journal wanted to know what we were doing, and we ended up on the front page of the marketplace section, which is a second section of the Wall Street Journal, and shit hit the proverbial fan that night. CNN was in our office the next day, ABC Nightly News with Peter Jennings.
Still ahead. It's like skateboarding without the skateboard.
Roll over, rollerblading. This is the latest craze on the streets of San Antonio, Texas. It's called soaping, although it has absolutely nothing to do with soap.
And that's when it started to also be called soaping, which outraged me to know. And people would be like, and it was even like happening in our school. It was like, this is the cradle of freestyle walking, people. Are you kidding me right now? This is where it all began, and now you're calling it soaping?
It was a multi-million-dollar idea. And BK and I have talked about it all the time. How many million-dollar ideas do you have in your life?
In the first 2.25 years, we made it to like 14 million foreign sales.
Couldn't get the shoes in the country fast enough for a while. It was a fun time, and it was my job. I was getting paid for it.
People that like collect soap shoes and like really do this like as a thing, like that like classify themselves as freestyle walkers or soapers or whatever kind of moniker you want to put on it. I just think they're sad.
There were kids that took that seriously. You know, they pulled that out of the box and they're like, wow, I want to get good.
My name is Renny Castillo. I'm 19 years old and I live here in Queens, New York. walking is boring, as some say. Walking is overrated. Jumping up and sliding on handrails, spinning out and doing backflips is considered freestyle walking. Yeah, I eat, sleep, breathe. I basically live soap. I wear my soaps every single day, even to my prom. Like, if you ask my mom, she knows I want her to wear soaps.
She talked you out of it?
Yeah, she finally got me out of it, but like, I have my soaps with me just in case. With working hard, you get rewarded. Me, I get rewarded with free shoes in the mail. A lot of the shoes that I get in the mail are not available anymore, so that a lot of people are stupid and like send me emails like death threats, oh, I'm gonna jack you for your shoes, blah, 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 blah.
How often do you get that?
Every day. Paul Cifuentes, he's one of the original soapers back in the day. Each one of these shoes, they're arranged a certain way. It's basically my way of showing another month taken down strong. You know, like, another month, another thing accomplished. And that's me doing the trick, the frontside royale. Right here's the big O, as we call it. That's the basic, that's like the most well-known logo, like for soaps. So like if you see that, like, it means soap. And it actually, like, it's just a logo, but I have a lot of respect for it. It's, like, I honestly would like a tattoo of it one day on my shoulder or something.
My name is Jaunzemis. I'm 19 years old from El Segundo, California. And you guys are about to see some serious shit.
1997, they were looking for people to test these shoes. A couple friends of mine, Paul, Danny, and Bryndon, they all got on the soap team. Anytime new shoes came out, hooked us up with that stuff. So that felt good to be part of a team. Walked into Journey's, a shoe shop, and there was a soap shoe rack with a TV, and our video was playing. And just kind of noticed, dude, that's us. We're famous. It was awesome.
This is what really broke my heart. Going to Mall of America 2000, somewhere in there. I saw a pair of those soaps on sale for $90.
Yep.
90 freaking bucks, dude. I know they sold at least $1 million. So we're talking a $90 million industry or just, company right there, dude. Throws a bone, give me 0.5%.
Soap has a history, in my perspective, of being kind of scandalous. And I wouldn't doubt it.
We would get calls. I want to get sponsored by soap. We don't sponsor people.
They refused to technically call us sponsored. They didn't want to say that walking down the street is a sport.
It's just a core group of kids that are just giving us feedback about the shoes. There was no sponsorship, there was no pro, there was no competitions. Kids pulled it out, they made it what they wanted to make it.
One of the things in big business is get everyone else to do the work for you and then take all the credit. And he's just the classic example of that.
We thought, wow, this is, just gonna keep growing. But then after some time, it really just kind of cut off.
I worked in the marketing for a while and helped them get their name out to a lot of different magazines and stuff. But one day he's kind of like, well, we don't have the budget for your position, so you're free to go anytime.
And some of them took it serious, and which is why a piece like that is so believable, because kids would go to school after they bought their soaps and go, dude, I'm a freestyle walker.
It pissed me off because my heart and soul was really into it. I actually got a soap shoe logo tattooed on my shoulder, and after I was fired, I burned it off with a spoon. I put the spoon over the stove and just, and I had a lot of animosity for a while until I kind of realized leaving myself with a huge scar, they still kind of won in the end, so that didn't really help. I wouldn't recommend burning off tattoos with a spoon.
I remember the first freestyle walking shoe being in my garage, the Airwalk ones that I spray painted gold. Because I remember talking to BK on the phone, he'd be like, freestyle walking shoes, that's so cool.
Because I told you guys.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, man,
Which is very possible. That's been many years,
I
so
told you guys about
the
it.
thing is, it doesn't, at this point, it doesn't matter Who created the shoe? Who created freestyle walk?
God damn it!
The lamest attempt of copywriting or proofing, I took a penny and I put it on there on the picture, and then I photocopied it. So like the penny said 1996 on there, so it had like a date. But you could take. You
couldn't do that now.
People reached out to them and they designed a shoe, and then someone else designed another shoe very similar, and went off somewhere else with it. Then yeah, I'd be upset.
I think that's a reasonable timeline of what events. My understanding is that we did that piece, and then those shoes came along as a result of it. I think that was everybody's opinion that I knew. I think it was kind of went without saying.
Your creative effort ends up the vehicle for someone else. Yeah, that would anger me. That would anger me even as principal. I'd claim that was a Tiger idea, and we should be getting the credit for it.
Yeah, so should have written the book on the true book of Rollerblade and what happened, because it's just a bizarre story of lots of lies and bullshit and, just all sorts of bizarre stuff that went on.
At one point, they were trying to release their own riding shoe. Did they do that?
Oh, yeah. They made 80,000 units. I dedicate, 15 years of my life to making Rollerblade happen, and then I go do my own thing, and they decide to make 80,000 units and violate my patent rights. That's fun. Yeah, that was enjoyable.
That's what's great about freestyle walking. It gives the freestyle walker more freedom to do whatever they want. There's no rules to freestyle walking. Just the main rule is just do whatever you want to do.
You would still be in contact with them. I mean, you had this working relationship. It's almost like they were an ex-co-worker. And so the freestyle walkers were still in contact with Mona and Nicole. And so I remember, I think I saw some shoes came in the mail. They may have sent her some shoes as a gift.
I don't really know what legal recourse they would have had as far as, ownership of that. I just, as minors, I'm not really sure.
When I would explain to my parents when I was 15 years old that, hey, Soap stole our shoes, we created these. They didn't believe us.
No.
They're like, yeah, that's, you want to, whatever.
All I remember about Soap shoes, I can remember them in my garage, supposedly, them making a shoe and there was duct tape on it.
I think that if they would have realized what was happening, that this whole shoe debacle wouldn't have happened, because they wouldn't have let me just send something out without documentation that I actually did this.
These are going to be, the next big thing. And I was like, whatever. But then all of a sudden Bryndon's in contact with somebody.
I just think that they thought it was cute or something. Like, oh, look at Bryndon's on TV.
And does MTV have a history of, taking things? I don't know if Viacom is involved at all with the shoe company, so I don't have any conspiracy theories, but Viacom is very good at making money, and they don't pay anybody that works there, so somebody's making money.
I'm apathetic towards the whole thing now. I think it's going to come back around. Like, if we are these creative people,
then we're just going to come up with another, worldwide great $1 million idea.
Easily. And if it's not a worldwide great $1 million idea, it's something that'll personally make us happy.
People should come sit in my basement.
No, I'm not saying that.
Behind us.
I'm not talking about that.
$1 million! No, there's no other idea, dude. That was it.
No, if we did this as a prank and it caught on, then how much of reality TV, media, CNN, Kardashians, television is complete bullshit that is catching on nowadays?
Well,
all of it.
Yeah, I was going to say most of it, but all of it's probably more accurate.
That's true.
I was spacing out on that. I have no clue what these guys are talking about. Are you bitter about it?
Hugely, yeah. There was a time in my life, throughout my teens and 20s, when everything I did was because that didn't happen. Not that I was doing things I didn't want to do. I was doing things that I wanted to do. I'm still doing things I want to do. But there was times where everything I did was because that shit happened. And that we got ripped off, and that I definitely feel like And it's depressing, but I definitely feel like my life was supposed to go in a different way at a very young age. At like 14 or 15, it was supposed to go this way, and then that happened, so this way instead, which is still a very good way. You know, like, I'm not a depressed guy, I'm a happy guy, I'm optimistic, I have a good time, you know. But I'm extremely bitter about it, and I used to tell people about it a lot. I used to, in my teens and my early 20s, I used to bring up freestyle walking and bring up soap shoes and tell people about how we invented them and that, that we got ripped off, and tell them the whole story. And the biggest reaction you get is that people don't believe you, or they don't care, which is, totally understandable. and it got to a point in my young to mid 20s when I just stopped bringing it up, and I just don't mention it anymore, and try to move past it. And I'll never get over it. I can't say that I got over it and that it's done, because I'll never get over it. I don't think I'll ever get over it, but I got past it, and just kept moving, and shit happens, and you gotta chalk it off of that. But when shit happens to one person, it's like their tire got flat, and when shit happens to me, it was like I got duped out of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So it's a little different, and I don't really think about it very much. That's why I don't look up freestyle walking articles. I think, oh, that was great that we did that and this and that. It's just like, fuck those guys, fuck the people that freestyle walk, fuck soap shoes, fuck the people that bought soap shoes. You're all a bunch of fucking assholes, right? And I don't want anything to do with you guys, because that was our thing, and it got taken away from us. And it's super tough, and I haven't thought about it a lot from my mid-20s up until now. I just turned 31 a few minutes ago. Up until my mid-20s until now, I haven't thought about it a lot. And then there's this documentary happening, and as great as I think the documentary is, and how flattered I am, and how I think it's super cool that there's even just one person out there that finds this interesting, much less wants to dedicate time and money and resources and this and that to make a movie about it. I mean, my God, that's phenomenal, But at the same time, it's been super tough in the last 4 years since I've heard about this documentary starting up. It forces me to go back to where I was when I was, 17, 18, 19, when I was just really, really pissed off about the whole thing. So it's really fun to talk about. We've all had a lot of fun tonight, and we're going to continue having fun. And moreover, it's the whole thing's a ton of fun, but for me, I don't know how you guys feel, but for me, it's like extremely painful.